Hello and welcome to another Purveyor of Light Photoshop Quick Tip. I'm your host Len Erickson, and we've got a real fun one today actually. I bet a lot of you all ran out, got your tripods and went out and spent out last night and shot the supermoon. And you probably have a shot similar to this. I think I've seen about 100 photos alone today of the supermoon, and they look just like this one. A big round ball on a black background, and there's nothing wrong with the photo. It's just, it doesn't stand out. It doesn't thing. And the one thing I always said about photography is an art form, and it's our job to make the art. Okay, and so this to me says this is a great moonshot, but let's turn it into a work of art. Let's make it something that we can really be proud of, that we could show off. Okay, and you're not going to believe how easy it is. So here we have a nice moonshot, and I also have a nice picture here, and this happens to be the Dallas skyline, okay, in Dallas, Texas. And nice photo, but no moon, no clouds. The sky is, kind of like uninteresting. Some of the colors are nice, the reflections in the water are nice, but boy, wouldn't it be nice if we could take the moon and put it in this picture and make a beautiful composite that we could be proud of. And you're not going to believe how easy it is. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to work as our Dallas skyline here as our background. We're going to go get the moon, and we're going to take the moon and drag it up and drop it into the skyline. Okay, and then we're going to position it where we really think we want it to be, and for now we'll just put it there. And I think that's just a little bit too big, so we're going to have to free transform that, and I'm going to hit Command T, which is going to bring up the bars. I'm going to hold the Shift key down, and I'm going to just resize this until I feel that it's a believable supermoon. Okay, so let's try that and see if that's a believable one. Now, of course, we've got the problem here. We've got a black sky and doesn't match our current photo, and oh boy, what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to come in and try to erase the background, maybe come in and try to paint it away. Too much work. Let me show you a little easy trick. Okay, so highlighted on the moon layer, and I'm going to go ahead and label this the moon so we don't forget that it's the moon. And I want you to just click anywhere to the right of the words on the layer. Okay, don't click here, don't click on the words, but click to the right of it on the area and double click to open up the layer style. Okay, so now here on the layer style we have a blend if slider, and you'll notice it goes from 0 to 255, which means black to white, and that is the range. Okay, and this is an instruction that we can tell it blend if this condition, right? So in this case it's saying 0 to 55, go ahead and blend it in with the picture. What if we turn around and said we don't want to blend the black? So we take the slider and we just move it. Look at this. Look what happened to the moon. I'll do it again. There it is, and I move the slider, and there we have essentially removed the background of that photo and made a beautiful composite. Okay, now I'm just going to show you here. I'm going to come in and zoom in here, and just so we can see, okay, of the quality. Okay, you can see it's not a bad selection, but it's still not perfect. Okay, so we can improve this. So the layer style, If you look here on this lower section where we dragged to the right on the blacks, there's a little line in between on the triangle. I want you to hold the Option key down, and that'll cause the splitter to split. And then we can move that till we get a good selection, until we're happy with the selection. So in other words, now what this is doing is essentially saying from 9 and below, don't show it, don't blend it. And this area from 9 to 22, which is this area right here, is telling us that make a gradual transition. And then of course anything that's brighter, go ahead and show it. Is that not a neat effect here? We have essentially made a composite just by sliding a slider. No hard work trying to erase or mask out the background. Really easy to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back in here and put this back on the screen. And it looks good. It looks good. But maybe we should turn around and drop the opacity just a little bit, to make it a little more believable in the sky. And I think that's pretty believable right that way. Okay, one last step. Now we could just quit right here, but what I like to do is I like to always make everything more believable. And so I happen to picked out a sky here at night with some clouds. And I says, this would be perfect to take what we have here, which is a cloudless sky, very little interest. We put the moon in. Wouldn't it be nice if we had some just hints of clouds, maybe even a couple crossing the moon to make it a believable composite? So let's go ahead and try that. So we come in, we'll take the clouds, and we'll bring them up into our picture and then drop them in. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to free transform. Okay, and we're going to move this thing probably much more than we think we want to, because I want to have a certain effect. Okay, we'll try that. And I'm going to change the blend mode of this to lighten, and you can just see automatically now how this thing is blending. But let's go ahead and move this around, okay, until we're happy with the illusion. And I'm still not happy with the illusion. So free transform. And I wanted to have it come out more. So I want this thing hole going out much further. Okay. Retransform again. And I think I still want to blend it out. And let's see here. Now I'm moving the sky, and I'm going, now we're starting to see some interest. Okay, not bad. I'm liking it. All right, so now we've got this slide, and I know it's a little bit much and not believable. Not yet. Okay, so let's try screen. And we go, well, that makes it pretty interesting too. So we're going to have to decide whether we like lighten or screen. But we're going to leave that final decision to the end. The next thing I'm going to do is turn around and make a layer mask. And I'm going to then just simply paint in black what I don't want. You can see here, I'm just painting what I don't want in the picture. Okay? And again, making it more believable is what it's all about. You can change your brush size, come in and remove wherever the clouds are not supposed to be, and remove any unbelievable or things you don't like. Okay? That makes it much more believable. Okay? And you see we have a couple wisps across, and we can come in and make some adjustments, or we could even just remove areas that we just don't like. Okay? Once we're happy, now of course, if you're doing this for real, you would spend a lot more time and pay a lot more detail than what I'm doing right now, but you get the general idea. So now it's just a question of, okay, that's looking pretty great. So I could change the opacity just to make things blend in a little more until I'm happy. And again, I'm going to make a final decision between screen and lighten. You know, I think I'm leaning towards screen. Okay, so screen it is. All right, so now this is looking good. We've got a little thing of trails of clouds. The sky is much more interesting. We have the composite of the full moon. It's looking much better. But there's one more thing we need to do, okay? And that is, you'll notice in the water, the reflections, okay? And if you ever pay close attention, it's the details what makes people disprove whether something is real or not real. We need a reflection of the clouds just ever so slightly in the water. So in order to do that, we just simply take the layer we have and duplicate it, Command J, all right? And now we take the layer, we position it over here into the water, and I need to do just one thing. I need to transform, and I need to flip it vertically so it's upside down. Because if it isn't upside down, then it won't be a believable selection. So we just move the reflections into the water, okay, and we reduce the visibility of the opacity and just ever so slightly, because the clouds would not show up in the reflection in the water strong. So we're just making those ever so lightly trail. So now we're looking at this picture and we see the clouds and we see the thing here, and now we even see the reflections of the clouds in the distance, very faint, and now we have a beautiful picture. Now I bet a lot of you are saying, but there's one more thing to do. You're right, there is one more thing to do, but I'm not going to do it, okay? We all know now what this is your assignment. Okay, I've shown you how to do the blending. I've shown you how to mask out the moon. I've even showed you how to do the reflections of the clouds in the water. Now, what you're going to do is you need a reflection of the moon right here. Okay, and you'll notice the reflections of lights are pulled out straight. Okay, so they're distorted. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make a moon reflection, blur it, distort it, blend it, and then you'll have the perfect composite. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you come back next week. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them down below. If you haven't, please hit the subscribe button. It helps our channel. And until next week, you guys take care.